bad. And I asked this question and I said, please give me an example of how I treated Traci bad. Give me an example of how I treated Traci bad. Because I can't speak on behalf of anybody else other than me. So that was my question. And when I asked that question, the individuals were never able to.
Towanda Braxton didn't just hit go live. She struck a nerve, and the entire timeline went up in flames. What fans expected to be playful jokes, casual vibes, and a few cute moments with her husband quickly turned into something heavier, louder, and impossible to ignore. Towanda looked straight into the camera, calm, but cutting, and said what nobody expected her to say. She directly addressed the long-standing rumors tied to Traci, Toni, and Tamar. And in that moment, fans realized this wasn't content anymore. This was a real family showdown unfolding in real time. The first bomb dropped when Towanda confronted claims that the Braxton sisters mistreated Traci during their reality TV years. For years, fans flooded comment sections insisting Traci was sidelined, embarrassed, and pushed out of the spotlight. Old clips kept circulating, Traci crying, walking off set, sitting quietly while the others filled the room. But Towanda leaned forward and checked the narrative head-on. "Give me an example," she said. Then she doubled down. "Show me receipts." Her tone was firm. No fluff. No dancing around it. Fans had been loud for years, but when pressed, no one could name a moment where Towanda herself mistreated Traci. And just like that, the entire conversation shifted. In that moment, Towanda wasn't just defending her name. She was calling out how the internet twists stories until assumptions become facts. Still, the hurt was written all over her face. Because guilty or not, the verdict had already been decided online.
Excuse me, but you walk away from a confrontation, okay?
I mean, it's tough being on the outside. And the people making faces while you... I catches it all, honey.
Listen to me very carefully. We're not singing anymore today on camera.
I'm done. Can't do it. We can't ever seem to just have fun.
You gotta get it. Tamar, come here.
Mommy!
Camera, go.
Traci Braxton's passing left fans emotionally raw, clinging to every memory, every clip, every moment they could replay. Every disagreement was flipped into proof of neglect. Towanda knew that. Her demand for receipts wasn't just clapback energy, it was survival. She was trying to separate her genuine love for her sister from chopped-up storylines that painted her as cold and distant. Then came another truth bomb. Towanda exposed how producers played puppet master behind the scenes, how footage was sliced, moments stretched, and drama exaggerated until reality and fiction blurred together. She even used Toni Braxton as an example. Remember the prom episode? Towanda revealed Toni mentioned prom maybe 3 or 4 times, but once it aired, it looked like she couldn't stop talking about it. That's the power of editing. Fans laughed, mocked, replayed those scenes for years, never realizing those moments were crafted for ratings, not truth. And suddenly, it wasn't just about one funny line or a distorted family image. It was bigger than that. When Tamar screamed, when Toni sighed, when Traci cried, fans were forced to ask the real question. How much of that was raw emotion, and how much of it was made louder, messier, and uglier by the edit? Because what Towanda made clear that night was simple, but devastating. The story fans thought they knew might never have been the whole truth. Towanda's explanation pulled the curtain all the way back on reality TV. Suddenly, every tear and every fight fans had watched for years felt questionable. Was the Braxton chaos authentic, or was it a circus stitched together in the editing room? Towanda didn't dodge the question. She leaned into it and reminded everyone watching, we're not a cast. We're a family. That one line sent shockwaves through social media. This wasn't strangers clocking in for drama. This was blood, history, and real wounds. The Braxtons didn't clock out when filming ended. If they argued on camera, it followed them home. If they cried on camera, that pain didn't disappear when the lights shut off. Towanda confirmed what fans had always suspected. When the cameras stopped, the hurt didn't. This wasn't entertainment anymore. It was real family damage, magnified for millions to consume. And once that truth landed, nothing felt the same again. But Towanda wasn't done. Her tone sharpened when she turned the camera on the audience itself. She warned fans to stop pitting sisters against sisters, saying, "I can talk crazy about my sisters, but you better not." That line detonated across the internet. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't shade. It was a boundary. Braxton business stays with the Braxtons. Fans could watch, react, and speculate, but the moment Traci's memory was used as a weapon, Towanda shut it down. This wasn't TV talk anymore. She wasn't speaking as a reality star. She was speaking as a grieving sister. And the chat went quiet. Then the live took a sharp turn. A fan asked the question that's haunted the family for years. Why weren't the Braxtons paid like the Kardashians? Towanda pushed back fast, reminding viewers that pay numbers aren't public. But the damage was done. That question cracked open something deeper: worth, visibility, and how Black families on reality TV are valued compared to white ones. The Kardashians turned chaos into a billion-dollar empire. The Braxtons aired real pain, real scars, real struggle, and never saw the same payoff. That moment shifted the conversation from gossip to exploitation. Towanda went deeper, explaining that the family dynamics viewers saw didn't start with the cameras. She was 36 when the show began, already carrying decades of lived experience. Those fights weren't random blow-ups. They were layered with childhood roles, sibling tension, and generational patterns ripped open and repackaged for ratings by people who didn't care about healing, only drama. Suddenly, the arguments didn't look petty. They looked painful. When Towanda addressed editing directly, everything exploded. She explained how scenes filmed on different days were stitched together. Emotions were stretched. Reactions were magnified. Sisters were shaped into villains, victims, or clowns depending on the storyline. Fans thought they were watching reality, but they were watching a version of it. That's when Tamar's name flooded the comments. Towanda didn't call anyone out, but the message was loud. Tamar wasn't just fighting her sisters. She was fighting production. Every scream, every clapback, every meltdown had been looped and amplified for effect. And suddenly, the internet was asking a dangerous question. Was Tamar framed? Then came Toni. Mid-live, Towanda admitted Toni's calm, polished image wasn't all natural either. The network protected her, the superstar, the Grammy winner, the anchor. Her frustrations, tears, and breakdowns were often left on the cutting room floor. Toni wasn't flawless. She was curated. That revelation shook fans. Even the perfect sister had been edited. When Towanda circled back to Traci, her voice softened. This part hit differently. She reminded viewers that what they saw on TV was never the full picture. Traci had decades of pain, years of fighting to be heard long before the show ever existed. What fans watched were fragments of that struggle, sliced into dramatic moments for entertainment. Traci wasn't a storyline. She was a sister, a mother, a woman. Her absence now speaks louder than any edit ever could. By the time Towanda ended the live, the internet didn't cool off, it detonated. Hashtags surged. Clips went viral. Fans split down the middle. Some praised her for exposing the truth. Others accused her of rewriting history. And one question echoed everywhere. What will Toni and Tamar say? Towanda didn't just go live. She cracked open a narrative war. The Braxton story is no longer controlled by producers. It's being rewritten by the sisters themselves. And once silence breaks, it can't be undone. Because if Towanda was bold enough to challenge Traci's portrayal, what does that mean for Toni? For Tamar? For everything fans thought they knew? This wasn't content. This was a turning point. And the fallout is only just beginning.